Okay, today's video going over the 2023 KTM XC300. I want to go over everything that you get or don't really get when you buy the bike, and then we'll go over some of the little modifications I've done to the bike so far. I only have 1 hour on it, so it's just been that one initial break-in ride. I'm going to get some more time this weekend. One of the things I'll be installing though in this video is the ARC levers. That's a big thing for me. I gotta have those. So I'll show you the ARC levers, how they compare to the Brembo clutch and front brake lever, and then show you a couple other little tweaks we've done to the bike. Okay, so here's what you get when you spend, just over $11,000 on a motorcycle. They no longer give you a manual, so you have to go download that, which I think is stupid. So I printed mine off. I like having a paper one. I guess I'm old school. Yay, little spoke wrench. Lower fork tube wraps. Since I will be sending this off very soon to have it revalved, I don't worry about that. Then in here, if you decide not to run the KTM handguards, you do get little rubber boots. That's kind of nice. Replacement hardware that's not as long, also to go with these if you're not running the KTM flags. If you don't like the rubber in the bar mounts, you've got some inserts here that are going to remove the rubber, give a little bit more rigid feel. And lastly, you've got your plugs, which are going to be those two things right here. Those plugs are going to be for removing the fuel tank where you disconnect it. A couple extra fuel filters, that's nice. You always want those. Me personally, I replace them, and I recommend replacing them every time you change the oil. And so I'm pretty aggressive on my oil changes. I go about every 8 hours. Some people are going to say that's a waste of time and money, but that little guy plugged up can ruin your day. So I'd rather just replace it. They're super cheap. And then I believe that is the little insert for the diagnostic port on the bike. So that's all you get. Used to get a bunch more tools and everything, but not anymore. So let's move on to the levers. So right here, I've already pulled them. We've got our clutch and our front brake. Those are just the stock Brembo you're gonna get. And then here I have my ARC aluminum folding levers. Lifetime warranty. If you damage it, bend it, break it, just get a hold of ARC on their website. You get a RMA, a little return form, ship it back to them, they ship you out a new one. So can't beat that at all, especially for the quality. Beautifully machined. So these are a folding lever design with super quick adjustments. Okay, that should be the clutch, and here's our brake. Very similar. So on that guy, you just thread this out. Got a little lock nut there. That locks into place so it can't wiggle out. And there you go. One thing to note, in there, they are saying, this is for the clutch. You need the little bushing insert, but you don't need the spring. So we can even do that right now. Pop that out, still nice and greased. Probably toss a little on there for safekeeping, but there is that. Brake side, don't need the spring. That's it. So brake side will be pretty straightforward. One thing I forgot to show that I really wanted to highlight was the profile of these levers. So just as a side-by-side comparison here, see here we're going to have our pivot right there. It's in pretty far in comparison. You can just see here based on the cup, but As far as the lever design itself, very, very similar. It actually thins in right here, right about where you want that one finger. Very nice, comfortable. Thickness wise though, it's a little bit thicker right here, then it tapers off again. For your brake, and very similar, we do get very thin right here, right where that, if you're a one finger rider, right where that's going to sit and rest. Okay, so installation's really easy. I still have a lot of grease right here on our little rod, so it just pops in there. Make sure we get it in. We're going to line it all up. Couple wiggles and we are good. Okay, and there we go. Adjust that guy out quite a bit. Yep, perfect. So nice thing is, end of it is not sticking out past the bars. I will probably move this down a little bit more. For myself personally, where I like my fingers, I would like it to be down just a little more. So here, we can even do that right now. Yep, have to tweak it a little more, but that's all there is for the clutch. Let's knock the brake out real quick. Okay, and brake side is on. So that's about perfect right there. Now they will fold out in the event of a crash. This thing's going to prevent it though from really going anywhere, it looks like. Distance, that's about right. Feels good on that side. One thing we'll go ahead and show is over here for the clutch. I did adjust it a little bit after we tweaked it because I realized more of a middle finger than a front finger or a two finger, so that's about perfect. Could probably even a little more. There we go. Yep. So I got some spacing there. It's not too bad, but we were flush before. Now at least we're in a little. And again, that will fold out. So there we go though. All right, before we get any further, I do want to mention I am working really closely now with FXR. I am a Rider Rep brand ambassador for the Pacific Northwest, so if you have any questions on the gear, you need to get some gear, send me a message, joshfxr@gmail.com. That's just going to be an email straight to me, and if you have any questions on the gear, you need a discount code, you need to know how does this compare to another brand, send me a message, let me know, let's get you dialed in with that. FXR is really blown up in this area and across the whole country. So, you know, with riders like Kyle Chisholm, you've got the entire Club MX team running it. It's really gaining popularity and it's growing tremendously. So if you have any questions, check it out, let me know, and we'll get you set up with it. So one thing I did, we'll go ahead and show you on the bike, is I have set up just a quick little pigtail here. Tucks in nicely out of the way. You can't even tell it's there. I guess besides a little wiring there, but that's covered up with the air filter plate here. But wired that up. This had a really short lead, so I didn't have a lot of room with the battery. I initially wanted to kind of wrap it in under and sneak in through here. There's a small hole. Then tie it up somewhere in here, but I don't mind this at all. So I just popped the number cover off, and I've got access here to throw my battery tender on there. This will just keep it all nice and charged for the long winters when it's not doing anything. Okay, next thing I did, one of the most important things to me, is I have set up the rear shock for my weight. I'm a little bit bigger than the stock recommends, so went ahead, got the rear shock. To me, good dialed suspension is one of the most important things you can do, and it's how you should start off every bike. So just having that set up where it needs to be for my weight is the #1 step to me. Kind of a pain to get to it though. Let's see if we can show you on the other side here. I did pull the swing arm so that I could grease everything up. So all the linkage, everything came off of there as well when I did that, which wasn't too bad. Pull this cover off on both sides, slide the swing arm bolt out, grease it up, remove your linkage. But the tricky part is, I don't know if I can really show you, is that new reservoir is massive. Let's see if we can get a good angle here. So as you can see, you got to take the silencer off. I had to loosen the expansion chamber just right here, pull it over to get it to come out, but there's not a lot of room around that air boot either. So to get it out, it's not the easiest. I've been told you can do it still without removing the swing arm completely, so I'll have to try it next time here in probably about a month when I send it off to get revalved.